Well, hello, it's Greg Cumming here from Good News for Israel, and we're taking 5 to Selah, to just think, to pause, consider, and just let the Lord well up in our hearts. Well, today we're looking at the next part of the verse in Genesis chapter 12, verse 3, which says, I will curse him who curses you. So we've really come upon one of the more negative sides of the words from God to Abram. In Genesis chapter 12. Let's read it. Genesis 12 verse 3. I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse him who curses you. And in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed. So let's look at this, because we really need to go into the Hebrew here. We did in the last one talk about how blessing Abram would bring blessing. The two words are very similar, barak, which means to praise and to honour and bless. But in this particular verse, the English doesn't do it well, because unlike where it was used in the word blessing, where there are two similar words or of the same root, where it says, I will curse those who curse you, there are actually two different words being used here. And we need to just understand that God is, for all that he said about blessing us, there is a warning for us to avoid certain behaviour regarding speaking ill of Abram and his descendants even. So I want to look closely at this Hebrew. So where it says, I will curse, the root word there is aor. Again, I'm not a Hebrew speaker. I'm only going by the pronunciation that anybody of us, every one of us can get from a Strong's Concordance or similar type of book. So and when it says, and him who curses you, the word is not aor at all, it's kalel, or the root is kalel, and the word is kalel ka. So we're looking at two different words there, so we need to understand, what does this mean, I will curse those who curse you? So let's look at the meanings. Ara, which is I will curse those who curse you, is to detest and utterly abhor, abominate, to curse, to imprecate evil upon, to damn, to denounce, to bitterly curse, to lay under a curse, to put a curse upon, or to be made a curse, or to be cursed. It's horrendous. I will curse him. A roar. It's a desperately heavy word. But I will do all of that to him who curses you. It's a different word. Kalal just simply means to make light of, or to trifle with, to treat with contempt, to despise, to make vile, to make of little account, to esteem lightly, to treat insignificantly, to make despicable, to bring dishonour. Man, they are two different types of words. I will utterly detest and abominate, bitterly curse, damn, denounce, and put a curse upon you who makes light of, or treats with contempt, or brings dishonour, or treats insignificantly. So that's an extreme response. For making a joke of Abram brings almost a damnation. And I think we should take note of that. That if we make light or dishonour or despise God, or despise Abram or his nation, even Israel today, believers who have come out of this, what we call the cultivated olive tree, the root of Abraham, believers in Jesus, if you're even trifling with that, then you are opening yourself up to a most utterly terrible treatment from God, including being detested, denounced, and damned. That all adds up to a terrible destruction. So if I praise and bless Abram, I receive the blessing and protection and the praise of God. I'm treated well. I sit under the hand of his blessing. If I treat Abram lightly, triflingly, dishonouringly, if I joke around, then the most terrible destruction is headed my way. So what do you think? This is a covenant of God, and I'm sure that some will take a stand of argument at this point, but I would say, take an honest look around at what's happened in history and what's happening in the world today, especially in that region around the Middle East, and ask yourself the question, are those who are blessing Israel blessed, and are those who are cursing Israel cursed? And what of those who are sitting on the fence making up their minds, like the European Union the United Nations as a whole denouncing Israel. While individual members may support Israel, as a whole, the UN denounces, or the EU. What of regimes who have mercilessly persecuted Christian believers? How have those regimes fared, and how are those regimes going today? Well, that was a bit of a heavy Selah, but it's good for us to think about those things. I feel the Lord has called us to take a position with Him. What do you think? Are you with Him, or are you against Him? It's good to actually Selah and think about that. Well, until next time, God bless you.